Alright, what's up guys? Your boy putting in work today. This is what, my third video? Actually, it really was my fourth video. Um, I did one earlier on scented oils, and about midway through the video, I had a change of heart on the fragrances, and so I wanted to redo that video. But first off, what I want to do is talk about something a subscriber just mentioned to me. And he asked me a question, and he said, how can we get into um, the niche game? Because there are a lot of very good or great niche fragrances out there, and he wants to know how we, I guess he was meaning me and him, could get into it. Me, personally, I wouldn't mind getting into some niche fragrances, not like a whole collection of it. Like, I don't want to go out and buy like 30, 40 bottles of the stuff, or even 10 bottles. Maybe a few, like maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 bottles of something niche, but the price will have to be right for me. I'm not willing to go out and spend, $100, $150, $200, $300, $400 for a niche or indie fragrance and take the risk of it not performing or not being what I expect it to be, which is why, for number one, you always should, when investing that kind of money, test or sample the fragrances first. We don't have places here that sell fragrances like that. Like, our local Belks don't sell Creed or, Mancera and stuff like that. So it's hard for people like me to even get those fragrances unless I order offline or, sample some from offline. But I'm not telling people not to buy niche or indie or whatever other kind of fragrance house or whatever is out there. I'm not telling people not to, because you can do whatever you want to. It's your choice. It's your money. I'm just speaking for my personal lifestyle, that I don't want to spend that kind of money on something and it not do what I expect it to do. Like, you spend that kind of money on a fragrance, that motherfucker better tap dance when you feeling sad. That bitch better hold the umbrella for you when it's raining outside. When you hungry, that motherfucker better cook your food, go shopping, come back, cook your food, and bring that bitch to you for that kind of money. But that's just my personal opinion. In no way, shape, or form am I going to sit here and tell anybody not to go out and buy niche, indie, or anything like that. That's not what I'm here for. We're supposed to be able to guide people in the right direction of fragrances, whether it's designer, celebrity, or niche, indie, whatever. We're supposed to show you, what's good out there, what's bad out there, what performs, what doesn't perform, how to get certain fragrances for decent prices, what to look for, what websites. That's what we're supposed to be here for. And some people have lost track of that vision. I saw part of a video earlier that this certain person did, and you all know who I might be speaking of. He did a video saying that, I think it was like 5 niche fragrances that people, collectors or whatever, should have in their collection or some shit like that. And I have nothing against that video, but to tell somebody what they should or shouldn't have, that's not what I'm going to do. You can go out and buy whatever the hell you feel like it. You can save your money and buy whatever expensive fragrance you want to buy and not deal with the cheapies. Or you can buy some cheapies, you can buy some niche, mix it up. You can do whatever you want to do. That's your choice. Just speaking from my personal feelings, I really don't care care whether I own a full bottle of any overly priced, overhyped fragrance, period. Whether it smells good or bad. I know there are probably a few niche fragrances in these containers, and I'm not sure what's niche and what's not unless I look them up. But this is what you guys have been sending me. And I haven't even been to, like, this container is the ones that I've worn so far to test. Versus what I haven't touched yet. And you guys see this. This is all from you guys. And this is not even all of it. I have more in another box over on the shelf. But if anybody wants to get into niche that hasn't gotten into niche, go for it. Just make sure you do your homework. Make sure you know about the fragrance that you're getting into. Know about the projection, the longevity, performance overall, I should say. If you can find that fragrance for a decent price, do so. I know some niche fragrances you can find for around the $100, $150 mark, which is, I guess, good for some people, but for me, that's still too much. But I'm pretty sure if you dig hard enough, you look in the right places, you go to the right people, they'll guide you down the right avenues to find what you're looking for, or something similar to what you're looking for. A lot of these clone houses are just fine with me. I don't need to go out and spend $100 and something on a pretty bottle of something that may or may not perform like it's supposed to. And with reformulation happening more often in fragrance houses these days, I'm not willing to take that chance. I mean, you guys already see what's happening to our inexpensive or cheapy fragrances and how they don't perform like they used to. So just imagine you running out and buying a bottle of Creed Aventus right now, with everybody talking about reformulation or the different batch variations, and you end up with something that only lasts like a couple of hours, and you thinking you're gonna get all day performance like it used to be. A lot of this stuff don't last and don't perform like it used to because of reformulation. You never know. You could be looking for a smoky batch of something and end up with a fruity batch of something, or something that's not gonna garner you compliments. Like I've said before about Creed Aventus, and a lot of other people know also, Creed Aventus is really not as popular with women as it is for men. Most men compliment other men on Creed Aventus and not women. Women tend to flock more to the fruitier, the more fresh type fragrances. They don't really deal with that smoky batch of stuff. Like certain females will, but a lot of females I've learned don't even like the smoky batch of anything. I've had a sample of Creed Aventus. I don't know if I still got it. It might be gone now, but I wore it to work and I didn't get any compliments when I wore it. But when I wore Club de Nuit Intense Man to work, I got all the compliments in the world. So I mean, that tells you something. It might not be the complete story, but it will tell you something. I'm not telling people not to buy Creed Aventus. If you want to buy it, by all means, go for it. But for me personally, I would not mind owning maybe a few niche or indie fragrances, full bottle size, not the decants like you guys have been sending me. I appreciate those, but I wouldn't mind having some. But me spending my own hard-earned money, and being that I'm struggling the way I am, especially with this new car note I just got, I can't afford to go out and drop that kind of money on no fragrance. I can't do it, and I refuse to do it. So with that out of the way, I'm gonna give you guys now what I did earlier with the scented oils is they're all in a big, like a Walmart bag, a plastic bag, and I'm not gonna pull them back out, but I dug through the bag and I was going to do initially 3, but I think I ended up doing 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I did 5. So what I did was I just juggled the bag around and pulled out fragrances, and whatever came out of the bag, that's what I talked about. And so I'm just going to run back through them again, because I deleted that video from earlier because I had like a a mixed reaction to it. I haven't worn these in a while, and when I first applied, they didn't smell the same. But once they started drying down, and I had already said not to buy these oils and stuff like that, and then once they started changing on my skin as I was talking, I got sidetracked and I started loving these again, and I changed my mind. So I didn't want to keep that video. I deleted that one. So this is what we're gonna do. One of the ones I pulled out oil wise is this one came from the hair store. 1 Million by Paco Rabanne. And you see how much of this I use. Notice did not leak out. The bottle is not wet or anything like that, oily. But this is the one I bought, and I think I paid like between $5 and $10, somewhere in that price range for this. And you see how much of this I used. So I actually like this one, and this was before I knew a lot about colognes. I've had a few colognes over the years, but I was heavily into the oils at the time. And hold on, guys. Okay, so I was heavily into these at the time. I bought some of these from a guy that sells them at the hospital. I actually go to gas stations at times. If I see these on the counter and I see something I'm interested in, I grab one or two. Hair stores, places like that, they sell decent oils. These are not like the ones that you buy online, or you see those African people or whoever it is that sells the scented oils. That's the good stuff. This is more along the lines of the cheaper stuff. The good stuff that you buy is going to cost more, and it's going to last longer, and it's going to perform better than these. But these are good also. So this one, like I said, was 1 Million by Paco Rabanne, and it actually smells very close. I'll say like 95 to 99% spot on for the actual cologne of Paco Rabanne. As you all know, most of these oils do last somewhat longer than most colognes. And I was big on these. I got a lot of compliments when I was wearing these back when I worked at King and Prince Seafood. I used to love putting these on and going to work. And the ladies, when I walked down the line as a line operator, they would smell me walk through, and I would get so many compliments, and so many women used to like be gawking over the fact that I smelled so good, and I was already handsome at that. I was a lot slimmer then, but very good fragrance. If you're interested in scented oils and you see some of these around your local gas station or hair store or whatever, don't be afraid to try them out. I mean, pick up one or two. They're very inexpensive. Give it a shot. If you have a lot of colognes and you're not really big on oils, then I wouldn't advise you to start picking this habit up. But for the most part, for somebody who is just starting a collection, it's okay to try these and see if you like it. It's a lot more reasonably priced than going out and spending 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 and up for an actual cologne, when you can get about the same performance from these oils that you can from a bottle of cologne, maybe better performance. So 1 Million is a pretty good one. I do own a bottle of this one. I don't own a bottle of 1 Million as far as cologne wise, but this is Azzaro Chrome, and I actually have Azzaro Chrome half used, but this one I've never used, and it smells damn near identical to Azzaro Chrome. And I think to get down on the collection a little bit of these oils, if anybody decides to buy or trade anything in the future, I may just throw one of these in the package just as a gift So that's brand new. Uh, Gucci Guilty. And you can see I did use this when I was wearing the oils back in, a few years ago. This one is nice. I've never smelled, I don't think, the cologne version of Gucci Guilty, but this oil is very nice. I like it. I like it a lot. And I may pull this back out and wear this one. Gucci 2. I don't know exactly which Gucci 2 this is, but this is a very nice fragrance also. I can't tell you guys about performance on these fragrances because I haven't worn these in a while, but I do know vaguely from my memory that working an 8-hour shift, switching over to a 10-hour shift, these would last damn near a whole 10-hour shift, 8+ hours. Back then, I don't know what the performance would be on the ones that are out now, but these ones that I have here were pretty damn good. Like I said, I don't know which Gucci 2 this is. It just says Gucci 2. But I can say that this is a very nice smelling fragrance also. And I really need to start wearing these and give some of my colognes a break. What's that? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. This one is the one that actually, at almost the end of that video, made me change my mind. And this is Creed Aventus. And when I first put this on my hand, I actually put it right here because I had the rest of them on this side. But I put this on my hand and it didn't smell like Aventus at first. It just smelled like regular oil, like something you would rub in your hair or something like that, or like a baby oil type smell. But once it dried and it started changing, it actually smells closer to Creed Aventus than I thought it did. And this is one also I've never worn. I just got it from the hair store. And it does smell like Creed Aventus. I've smelled 2 or 3 different batches or versions of Creed Aventus, and this does smell like what I have smelled. So this is a very good copy oil-wise of Creed Aventus, and I thought about wearing this tomorrow. I just might do that, just to see what kind of reactions I get from it. So make sure, guys, if you want to get into fragrances, check out some of these. They don't have to be exactly these same ones that I have right here, but to buy 1 or 2 just to test them out. Grab one of your favorite cologne and see if it matches, how close it is. And if you do, let me know in the comment section. I'm interested to hear about what you guys have to say about some of these scented oils. I happen to like these a lot. I've gone through several bottles, not of these particular ones, but over the years when I was heavily into it, I've gone through a lot of bottles of scented oils. They garner a lot of compliments. They last way longer than a lot of other colognes, spray colognes. Small enough to keep in your pocket. If you wear a button up, you can stick it in the top pocket, button up. If you put it in your pants pocket, or stick it in your vehicle in the center console or whatever. And if you want to jump out the car and reapply or whatever you have to do, or put it on rather, then by all means do so. I have 3 other ones in this box, but they didn't have names on them. I don't know what happened, but whatever that is, it smells good. I don't know what it is. I do know that some of these bottles I have cleaned out, and I have put colognes in at times, but doing a roll-on of a cologne does not, it doesn't go well with these roll-on bottles, and I found that out the hard way. You pour that stuff in that bottle and you try to roll it on your neck, and it's gonna come out like heavily, It's not gonna roll onto your skin like these oils do, where you roll it on and it sticks. It's gonna run. So not a very good idea on my part to do that when I did it. But for the most part, guys, these scented oils are very, very good. Um, I recommend those for somebody who don't really want to spend a lot of money on buying bottles of cologne. You can always go to smaller versions like this. They smell great. Just go through and pick and choose. I mean, you can always go in the store and just twist off the top. You may have to roll it, with the oil a few times to get the oil on the roll-on thing and smell it. And if something catches your nose, go for it. You're only gonna spend a few dollars for it. I mean, what are you gonna lose? Anyways, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you guys again for all your support, all your love, subscribing, liking, commenting, everything that you guys have done, sending me fragrance samples and full bottle presentations and everything, man. Like I said, I was in Fragrance Runners live stream, and I felt like a real celebrity when I came in his live stream, because everybody recognized me and they were giving me shout outs and telling me to keep up the good work. So I felt really appreciated. You kind of boosted, pumped up my head a little bit, but I'm still grounded. I'm still humble, guys. I thank you all deeply, and I'm out of here. Here's to smelling great. Peace.